We rebuilt him, basically.
When you genuinely care, you're involved all the way. All of me is in this, all that I have.
They're 500 kilos plus. We're not going to impose massively on them, but if you can just make sure you stay as near to whatever their normal is as possible.
You know, we felt strongly that it was his time and our time to try and get him back to just being okay.
Andy bought him knowing that he'd had a tendon injury and then knowing that he was going to need significant time off.
Felix de Giles had contacted me through Robert Walford and said, I know you're patient with your horses. I've just ridden a really nice horse, but he's done his leg, tendon injury. You know, if you can get him for the right price, he might be a nice horse for you. So, yeah, the rest is history, really.
He had most of that healing period elsewhere and joined us, you know, when he was ready to start training gently again.
His novice year where he went click, 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 that was great. It was all about enjoying it. And then the following year, he didn't run at all. So, yeah, the ups and downs make any journey in life worth it.
And they're off for the Grade 1 Ladbrokes King George, and they race over 3 miles and 18 fences. Throwed onto the outside towards the inner is Ahoy Senor, and between those two is Presse with Royal Pigard.
When he hurt himself badly in the King George, as soon as he started jumping violently left, I knew something was really wrong.
And Frodon leads the way to Presse on his outside.
I was just all the time muttering, just bring him home safe, Charlie, just bring him home safe. And he's running a great race.
Presse led as they took the third from home.
But I knew in here that he was injured.
As he jumps the 18th and final fence, down in second is Presse.
The pain of it afterwards was horrible. His SI joint, his sacroiliac joint, had sort of rolled over and collapsed a bit, and with the box rest he lost so much muscle condition that he then couldn't hold himself together around the sacroiliac joint. There was a few weeks in the summer where I was there 5 days a week helping out with the rehab.
Once you've had an injury, they don't mend, they carry it. That doesn't mean that they're broken, it just means that you have to help that area. I'm using a cold laser to stimulate it roughly down into a couple of centimetres down into the tissues to where you get trigger points, which are areas of discomfort and contracted tissue which appear in the muscles or myofascia, which then actually will switch that trigger point off. I mean, there are lots of ways of doing it, this just happens to be one of them. So you can see now I'm beginning to get more movement through that. So you're just trying to maintain as much stability in this region and as much comfort.
As Liz said earlier to you, it was a complete rebuilding process.
And we controlled every aspect of his work, so he had all sorts of additional exercises. So he did pole work, rein back or backing up the horse. Is actually extremely useful for recruiting subspinal muscles, which actually flex the back. The rehab's a bit like going up a ladder, you know, or a set of stairs. You go up, then you plateau whilst they consolidate, and then you go up again. So you're constantly trying to increase the activity, but without breaking them. They did a really good job here of actually just introducing the exercises quietly and slowly.
We got there in the end, and as you saw this morning, he looked spot on, so fingers crossed. Going back to Kempton is going to be highly emotional for me. It does bring back a lot of very raw emotion. Very difficult times, the 13 months after that Kempton race in the King George. So I will keep to myself on the day, find a little quiet spot where I can watch it from.
The flag is up for the King George. What a race we've got in prospect.
And they're off for the Grade 1 Ladbrokes King George VI chase. Presse out wide, and the clear leader at halfway is Le Français.
He was very solid, clear of the other British horses in the race.
And out very wide, Presse, who's just niggled along for the first time.
Charlie's given him a superb ride. His jumping was superb. Have to be delighted It's not often that you say thank you for being third.
Proud, humbled as well. All of them, you know, that's simply magnificent, these horses and what they give us and what they do for us and how far they're prepared to go for us. I felt like I was with him today out there because of 2 years ago and sort of everything the pain that's happened in between then. I was just a little bit apprehensive, but yeah, immensely proud. Fantastic day. It's always worth it, you know. Just being involved with them, it's worth it. Whether it's a Class 5 handicap at Catterick or the King George here, it's just the same. You asked me a question before about what's the cost of this. I said everything. I've given everything because that's what they do.